It was, I believe, spring or summer of 2005. I know that it was a Wednesday because for sure I knew that it was definitely a school night. And I've been dreading and holding back on talking and addressing about this issue for months, but I knew that I had to just get this out the way, okay? So this is when I decided to go ahead and knock on her door. I was definitely very nervous. She opens the door, I go in there, and I tell her that I'm not gonna be going to college anymore, and I don't think that it's gonna be beneficial for me to go to college.
What?
What do you think happened after that? Because for me, I thought she was just gonna kill me. I thought this was gonna be the end of my life, that I was gonna be kicked out of the house, that I was never gonna be here again. My family and my relationship with, my mother and dad was just gonna be over with. So what do you think she did? Do you think she whooped my ass as she always would when I would do something wrong when I was young? Or did she just grab a knife and stab me? Or did she really think that this news was actually coming?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment, okay? Now, again, we have to participate here, so comment below before you actually watch the full video. Comment below what do you think happened, okay? But this is exactly what happened, okay? After you've commented below, this is what happened. She actually expected me not to go to college. And I was really surprised by this because, again, I thought that she was going to be disappointed and I thought that she was going to be mad because I thought, given the fact how we were raised and how things were, I just expected her to be mad. I didn't expect her to actually embrace the news because she kind of did. Now, I believe part of this was because at the time I was about 17 and a year before that, I already had started my first business, and my first business was called Geeks R Us. I used to fix people's computers. I formerly worked at Best Buy and I worked for Geek Squad, and I decided to leave there because it just didn't appreciate my skills. I just thought I could make a little bit more money just being independent, and this is when the rise of Craigslist was big. So I used to post my services on Craigslist and actually just go fix people's computers at their apartment. And one of the mottos in Geek Squad, in Geeks R Us, which was my company, was we're better than those other geeks, okay? So I early on subconsciously already understood marketing. I already started taking advantage of the internet. I always say all the time, the internet enabled, 8 billion monopolies is a quote by a famous person that I follow on Twitter. I already started, subconsciously understanding, how to market myself. Subconsciously, I understood entrepreneurship was going to be the way for me. I didn't know this exactly, but, just by some of the decisions that I made. So at this time, I already had my business and I was actually being, I was pretty successful. And the one thing also about African parents, especially African mothers, if you're bringing home some money, they're not gonna really bother you that much. So I was already starting to pay bills. I was 16, 17 years old. I would sometimes buy groceries, and bring some groceries home. If my mom needed a new stereo, at the time, I was the one that would buy her a new stereo. If, she needed a new couch, and I was a mama's boy, okay? So whenever I told her this, I think she already had a level of understanding that, maybe this kid is gonna be all right. We don't have to stress about the way we stressed out all the other kids, okay? So early on, I knew, what I wanted to do is I wanted to start my own business. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but as I went through some of the different journeys that I went through, I realized how college fails so many people, and I'm here to share with you the 3 things that I've learned from, when I started my career at 16 when I had my first business, up to now, at 33, and I've gone through so many different businesses. I've done through, I've also worked a regular job, and I've tried so many things, and I'm glad that I made this decision because, so many different times that I talk to people that, maybe I went to high school with, and this is actually, I remember moving back from St. Louis. When I graduated high school, I moved to St. Louis for about a year. I wanted to get to know my father a little bit better. We're gonna talk about that on a different video, but what had happened, I went over there, I started working in the mortgage industry. This is whenever I was dipping and dabbing in the, as a loan originator. And the market crashed. This is right around 08, 09, after I graduated high school, and I moved back to Arkansas. And I remember moving back and meeting one of my, friends who was actually in college, and he was getting his master's. He was, almost graduated. And I just felt like maybe I had made the wrong decision. But 2-3 years later, when I started finding some success with Pennington Consulting Group, I went to this gas station and I saw the same individual. At the time, he had 2 master's degrees, okay? 2 master's degrees, and he's working at a freaking gas station and had all these student loans, and it was just, I saw it also with some of my siblings as well, and also my cousins and everything that took the college route, that I kind of, I started getting a little bit more of financial independence a little bit of early on, and self-made financial independence. Be it me working a 1099 job, I never really was just a W-2 person, honestly. I just really wasn't. I remember, even my last job wasn't W-2. But anyway, there's 3 things that I want to share with you that I have learned throughout this whole process. And one of the things, that school teaches you that completely goes against the grain. It's an oxymoron as far as these 3 things that we're about to address today. And one of the things is, you're told in school that you should never fail, that you should strive for perfection. You should always try to get things right. You have all these standardized tests and you're rated, within a grading system, and you're, the people that are perfect are actually taking the different classes, the AP classes, and all the dumbasses, which was me. I graduated high school with a 1.8 GPA. Now, sometimes I say that proudly. I graduated high school with a 1.8 GPA. If you ever go to my social media channel, I always say that I graduated from the University of Google, because everything that I learned from the internet, okay? So, you're taught, and this, I remember even taking those systemized tests, the ACT and the whatever the hell those things are. And I used to just guess all the time. My scores was, I took ESL. That's how stupid they thought I was, okay? I was in there with a bunch of, immigrants that just moved here that barely knew English. And I understood English, okay? But that's just kind of how dumb to kind of just, tell you this. Or, one of the things is the school teaches you is it's for perfection, how to be, be right. And in reality, you only learn through failure. So it's kind of an oxymoron. In life, every successful person will tell you that they have failed more than, they have more failures than they have successes. So in life, you should always, every success is always based on how long somebody has failed. Even me, myself, as I reflect back on my business and kind of where I'm at right now, I've made more wrong decisions than I made the right decisions. And I've learned more from all the wrong decisions, and I tried to focus on, a lot of people, even when they get to a job or, they usually focus on how much money they're going to get. And what I've realized that I've tend to focus on is, who am I becoming throughout this whole process based on, what I'm, doing. As I'm even jumping into this YouTube thing, it's pretty challenging to sit here and to set up these cameras and to do all these lights. And, when I do these things by myself. I don't edit by myself, of course, but this is pretty challenging. But I see, the other weekend, I took a film class, doing my local, I went to meetup.com and I decided to, team up, see if I can meet somebody here locally that does, do the same similar things, which leads me to my second point, which, in school, you're taught that you shouldn't share your answers. Collaboration is always, frowned upon. You should have your own answers and you work by yourself and, don't share or don't, work together. But, in business, collaboration is how you grow, and I can't do this by myself. Whatever great ideas anybody's ever had, they've had to collaborate with somebody, and somebody does this and somebody does that. But collaboration is key in the real marketplace. And school is told, and it's frowned upon that you should not collaborate with others. It's just one of the things that I kind of just learned and I thought that was really strange. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is, in school, you're told that there's only one solution to a problem. And mainly when you talk about these solutions that, they expand on and discuss in school, it's based on somebody else's conclusion that probably died a couple of years ago, and in life, in reality, there's multiple solutions to a problem, okay? So, again, these are just oxymoron, and people, this is why I always say this is why college has failed so many different people. It's based on these 3 things that I just said. You in life, you learn by failing. In life, you learn that there's multiple solutions to a problem. And in life, you later learn that in order for you to be successful, it requires collaboration. So I just wanted to kind of share with you some of those 3 points, some of those 3 things that I shared with you. So if you're one of those guys that, 2-3 master's degree and stuck at work at a gas station and still getting those Mohila, or student loan, mailers in the mail, and some of my family members are in the same boat. Some of you that have, and student loan is the worst type of debt that there is. This is not something that you can even include in your bankruptcy. It's until you die, you have to pay that student loan off, And even in my years as working here at Pennington Consulting Group, there's sometimes that I'm constantly reviewing people's credit report. So I would meet an individual that is, 45, 50 years old. They went to school and graduated probably when they were 22, 23, but they still have student loans. The average student loans, I believe somebody, they don't pay them until they're 40, 45 years old. So it's crazy. Just the interest rate that you rack up during that time, $20,000 can roll over into $80 or even $100,000 real easy. I've seen this in real life, So I really just truly believe that the educational system, it doesn't work. It used to be a time that in order for you to acquire knowledge, you had to go to college. But we have knowledge at our fingertips. We have ChatGPT now. We live in a very crazy time. There used to be a time that we lived where, the person that knew where the sun was going to rise, was more valuable because of just that knowledge. But I can look at the weather up to the minute, through using my phone. So today, knowledge is not power. There's that famous quote that people usually say that knowledge is power. And I kind of switched that a little bit, and I say that knowledge is only potential power. Okay, so knowledge, it depends on what you actually do with it. And I can sit there and also tell you, as somebody that runs their own business and been in business since I was 16, like I said, found some success, of course, years on. I can tell you, whenever I'm hiring people, to collaborate with, as I would say, I really don't give a damn about your degrees. I honestly don't, okay? And I think that is changing more and more. I believe I even watched a news article, watch a YouTube clip that there's some governors that have reversed in their state that in order for you to work with their state, you do not have to have any college degrees anymore. But the landscape is changing, is the point. And people that have, if you're an entrepreneur, and if you're, or if you're young, if you're considering the college route, if you want to be a doctor, of course you have to go to college. If you want to be, a lawyer, of course you have to go to college. I think there's 2 states actually. You don't have to go to college to be a lawyer, as long as you can pass the state bar exam. But nevertheless, the value of education is slowly fading away. And I think entrepreneurship, as we continue on, with life, until this thing, kind of goes out, entrepreneurship is going to be real big. Home-based businesses is going to be real big. Just the power of the internet and where it's taken us so far. It's even going to be, with now AI getting involved, every household will be a home-based business, honestly. That's what I see in the future happening. And people that are coming out of college, more focus needs to be placed on earning some skills instead of spending all this time in college. Majority of the things that I've learned is through courses. So I appreciate you for sticking with me today on this message and on this video, and and sharing with you the day that my mom almost killed me. At least I thought that I was going to be killed. But anyway, if you stay with me through the end, I appreciate you. I really do. Please go ahead and give me a like to the video, subscribe to the channel. And I guess I should go ahead and pay some bills. Let you know what this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Broker Solutions Academy. There's going to be a link in the description. We work with people that are interested in becoming a business loan broker. We have a very comprehensive business loan broker course, and we're going to be teaching you everything you need to know about how to become a business loan broker. Our mission statement is we help business loan brokers understand and simplify the various funding solutions that are available in the marketplace so you can properly serve your clients, stop the endless confusion and self-defeating pointless rat race they're currently in, and grow their business while maximizing profits by teaching them how to become a real business loan broker, not just a referral partner. This video is also brought to you by Pennington Consulting Group, and that's where we work directly with entrepreneurs and also business owners to help them get funded. So if you're looking to start, grow, or even expand your current business, Pennington Consulting Group, there's going to be a link in the description where you can go ahead and schedule a time. And like we always say at Pennington Consulting Group, our goal is to help you reach your goal. Again, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.